And we're live. Okay. Okay, so last night was very interesting. Ended the night with some very interesting errors going on in my program. Um, so tonight maybe we can shed some light on what was actually happening. Um, this is me building a React app from scratch, live, and I'm crazy to be doing this. Apparently, someone mentioned on LinkedIn that yeah, going through this and letting people watch me research things and debug things and all that stuff is very unusual. And there's a reason. It's very embarrassing and kind of messy. But yeah, but we're having fun with it, so it's okay. Okay, so last night, so here's my app here. Well, I usually have my app on the other side here. I'm just used to swiping left to see it. There we go. That's better. Don't want to trick myself. So, as Nat Sharpe, the wonderful and intelligent Nat Sharpe, pointed out last night, he, my husband, I originally had this is as the initial state in character name. And I had hi in there just to be silly. And I wanted to see what would happen. So let's see what happens right now. Okay, I mean, right away you get this character info undefined because, oh, I have character info here and it's not in a use effect, right? So it's just rendered right away and rendered twice, so that's not really the best way of doing things, but I did it, so there you go. It doesn't break anything, at least. So let's see what happens. So I tried searching for someone like Supergirl. I've been using Supergirl as my hero that I'm trying to find here. And I click get character. It's undefined. So that in itself is kind of interesting. Oh, and now I have cannot read property 0 of undefined. So I've been getting these errors, these crazy errors, basically saying, and then you look at the network request, right? And actually in this case nothing was sent here. But I wanted to replicate what was. Oh, I didn't save it. Maybe that's the problem. That's the problem. I didn't save it. I wanted to replicate the error I was getting last night because it's hilarious. Okay, Supergirl. Let's try it again. There we go. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with comics, but this is not actually what Supergirl looks like. This is Endo Masahashi. Now, why did I get this result? First of all, let's look at the character info. Like, this was a successful API response here. And it was results for hi. Now, I searched for Supergirl, so why would that be? Well, it's the previous state. I'm having an asynchronous issue here. Right? Which I thought it might happen. I had this, just based on my experience, I'm like, yeah, this is probably going to happen actually, because I'm setting state and I'm calling the function in the same submit in the same function here, which means when get character gets called, this state is not yet updated. So it's using the previous state when this gets called. Okay, so that's a problem. Now, why does hi get Ando Masahashi though? It's the way the API works. So here we go. I actually got an array of 20 different characters and they all have the string hi in them. See, and he's just the first one because that's the one, the index 0 is what I'm setting, is what I'm passing to the character card as character info. So that's why he's being returned, but all these different people were actually returned. So Thing, White Queen, all these different people. I don't know who most of these people are. This is quite comprehensive. But, so who is this guy? Anyway, that's what I wanted. So you open up his stuff, his info, and I looked at his power stats, and he just, poor guy, just no powers at all, no intelligence, no speed or strength. I bet he actually is intelligent, though, because, look, he's got an occupation. He works for, he is a Yamagato Industries computer programmer. I bet you he's the guy who created this API in the first place. That's kind of my guess. I didn't look that up, but it's kind of a hypothesis. Anyway, so that's the error that I ended with last night, and it was no good. And of course, if I remove this and I run it, I'll get the same error I had before, which is nothing, right? Yeah, the same error I had before, which is undefined, because I set, see, the character name is actually nothing, so the API is actually returning an error, but I don't have error handling in that case. In fact, I do not want to render this if it's undefined, so that's another condition I need to set. So let's work with state a little bit, because this is how to solve this problem here. What Nat helped point out yesterday was that I actually don't need this piece of state at all. Why? Because I can just pass the input as a parameter and get character. There you go. So it just skips a step that I was doing, and that should work, except it won't because I have to put the parameter in here. Input. Or, no, not input, character name. Gotta name things the same. There we go, character name, because that's what I call it down here. Okay. That should fix the problem. Let's see if it does. Except that I've got something going on here on line 11, which is this crazy bracket that doesn't. I must have slipped and hit an extra key. Okay. So now it should be okay. Nope, it's still not. Set character name. Oh, because I'm still doing set character name down here, which I do not need. Bye-bye. Which means it's also in this other component, but it is just unused. There we go. Cleaning up the code. There, now it's compiled successfully. Thank you. All right. I'm still console logging, so now let's see what happens. Now, I believe I've solved the asynchronous issue. Oh, yeah, it's not even state. So this input is what is going to be at the end of the API string now. Go. Yes! Supergirl! Does she go like this, like Superman? I don't know. How does she fly? She put it out like this. You like my sleeves? They're nice and big. Okay. I got dressed up a little bit because it's Friday, even though I'm not going out anywhere, of course, but it's Friday. So there she is, Supergirl. We finally got a superhero here. Yes. And we got her secret identity, Kara Zor-El. That's very cool. That would be a very pretty girl's name. So we fixed the crazy, weird error that I was getting. That's progress. That's progress right there. Now, we removed that item from state, but there's a couple more things that I want to add to state. One is error handling. Okay? So I just want to have error and set error. State Hi everyone. Let's see, error, set error. And the other thing I want is loading. See if it's loading. So I can display something like a spinner or whatever I need to when the API call is, or the data is being fetched. Set loading. And it's initially going to be false, and this, no, it's not going to be false. It's just going to be nothing, for now. Great. Okay, so that means here, if I get an error, I don't want to console log it. I want to set error to error. So set error. I'm just going to say error here. There's no, just to not confuse myself, making me think I'm using this down here. Okay. So then if there's an error, it should set the error here. And then I want to say, if there's an error, I do not. Now this is interesting because I do have a conditional here. I say if character info is truthy, basically, then I want to render this. Otherwise I want to render null. So I wonder why it was trying to render it even though it was undefined. Maybe it wasn't undefined. Right, because no, character info was not undefined. You're right, because this is actually the response, right? This is the response of the API, and the API actually successfully returned a response that was the error message, right? I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to add a condition here, and no error. I think I need to do that. In fact, I can test it out. I'll test it out by doing just an empty. I know it's never used. Not yet. Still have plans. Okay. So that took care of that error. Oh, no it didn't. No it didn't. Okay. It just took a moment. That's why I want to do the loading thing, so I know whether it's working on something or not. Yeah, this is the same thing we got before. Cannot read property 0 of undefined. Yeah, because this is undefined. So, but my question is, why is it trying to render it if either of those conditions are false? Well, first of all, what I want, I actually want to see, error. See, this is the response here, character info response. Okay, so what's going on here, character info, set character info is to JSON. Throw error. So that's interesting. So if I throw an error, then it still runs this, huh? Or is this block not working? Response not okay. I mean, the response is error. Response dot okay. Let's look at the network, please. Please show me the network. Show me the network. Why can't I scroll down? Oh, I did. Okay. So it's searching for this. See, it's status code 200. And that's probably my problem. It's not throwing an error. See? the response actually is okay. I'm getting an okay, it's okay. So that's not going to work for what I need. So what do I need to do instead? I need to check if the response, see, it's an okay, it's okay, there's no error. That's why it didn't work, is because it's just fine. So I want to see if check if response equals error, I suppose. So if response is not okay, or maybe I can say or, and this is response status text. I don't want that. I want response dot error. That's what happens when you copy code from somewhere. It's not exactly what you want. Response dot error, that's going to be the bad name search request. I'm not sure if that's what I want the error to say, but I'll at least, do it. So if the response is not okay, well, let's see, let's put an or in there. Or if response dot, should I say response dot response? I have never done that before. But I think this whole thing, this should be the response. So, let's see if this works. I'm kind of interested. Equals error. Then throw the response dot error. Let's give that a try. And then if this is true, this should not run. I think the reason this was running is because this was checking out. And that's why this was rendering. That's what I'm thinking. If there's anyone more experienced watching who can correct me if I'm totally wrong too, I'm here to learn as well. So I'm totally open for corrections. Okay, so I'm passing nothing because I want to replicate the error and see if there's a different result. I saved it, that's good. Let's see what happens. Nope. See, I still have response and error. Uncut type error, 0 of undefined. App component can't perform on an unmounted component. Yep. Okay, so that didn't work. So what can I do? So the response I get here. Let's refresh this again. So the response I get when I do something correctly is response success. Results for Supergirl, results. So yes, response success. And if I don't, response is error. Bad name search request. And I want to throw an error, which is response error, response dot, this should be response dot response, I think. I don't think it should just be response. Nope, it has to be dot response. Yeah, that's correct. So something else is wrong. Let me just look this up. Let me look up throw error JavaScript, because this is something I've done several times through tutorials, and I've used it in my own projects. So I've just used it, but I've never actually read into what it actually does. What does throw actually do? The throw statement throws a user-defined exception. Yeah, so I'm defining the exception. Execution of the current function will stop. The statements after throw won't be executed. That's what I thought would happen, yeah. And control will be passed to the first catch block in the state call, which we have. Try catch. Pass the first catch block. If no catch block exists, the program will terminate. Okay. So that's what I thought would happen. I'm telling it to throw an error, and it doesn't execute the rest of this block, and it goes straight to the catch block. And then this should be response error, because that's what I'm passing in here. Let me look up, so that's what throw does. Let me look up capital error JavaScript. Error objects are thrown when runtime errors occur. It can be used as a base object for user-defined exceptions, which is what I did. This is good. I'm learning this. See, I've used this several times, and I've never read about it or actually like looked in. I just kind of assumed what it did based on the context. But it's nice to have the more of the details, you know. It creates a new error object. Okay, error message, error name. Okay. Okay, so interesting. That was fascinating, but it didn't help me solve my problem. This is the fun of programming, is you get to search and think and think. And if you get stuck, there's a lot of different ways of getting unstuck. One way is to learn more, which is what I did. I was like, I'm trying to figure it out based on the knowledge I have, but then I thought there might be gaps in my knowledge that might help me here. And sometimes you need someone really smart to just look at it and say, hey, isn't this it? I'm like, oh yeah, you're smart. Like Nat did yesterday. Anyway, yeah, I'm not quite sure, because I think this is right. I mean, this shouldn't make a difference. Like, even if this is wrong, it shouldn't make a difference because I have the or statement in there, the or condition in there. So if either one of these is true, then it will throw an error. If it equals error. I don't think that would make a difference, like exact match there. I don't like this. I don't like that is happening. If there's character info and there's no error, or if there's no error, yeah, then you do this. Otherwise, no. Because if I'm setting character info, no, I'm not setting character info. Oh, yes, I am. I'm still setting character info. That means it's still finishing the block. Yeah, it's still finishing the block. Even though the response is error. Okay. Since that's not working, I'm gonna find a workaround, okay? I'm gonna find a workaround. I'm not quite sure why. I mean, it might be that the fact that it's successful, like that it's actually a 200, you know, response that it's not throwing an error, even though I thought the second condition would stop it, but that's not happening. So what am I going to do instead? Basically, so that's being set as character info, right? So I'm going to say if character info dot response equals no, I'll do that instead. Here I'll go. If I'll set a different condition. Let's see if this works. If response equals error, set error to response dot error. Okay, so that means oh, wait a minute. JSON. Oh, that's what's wrong. This should be JSON response. Maybe that's what's wrong. Ha ha ha. Let's try that before I do this. Let's see if that fixes it. Because I assigned the response JSON as JSON. There we go. Let's see if that works. Sometimes... Oh, come on, please. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. Oh. See, yesterday I did the happy dance, and tonight I just breathed a sigh of relief. Oh, yes. Okay, so that did it. Oh, thank goodness. So I was actually this makes me feel really good, because I was actually understanding the problem. I was understanding what I needed to do. I was understanding that I need a drink of water. This is a live stream, so I'm just going to leave you hanging. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah. So I feel better because I actually understood. The problem was that I was in a naming thing. So, yay, we got it. I'm going to get rid of this. Don't need a workaround. We're doing good. Okay. Whoa. See, every little thing takes a long time. But I'm sure with experience, well, I already know. With more experience, things go faster. Things do go faster. I'm much faster at figuring things out and debugging things now than I was 6 months ago, a year ago, Oh, I just can't wait to see what I'm like in another couple years. It'll be awesome. Okay, so we've got an error. I kind of want to console log my error here, just to see what it looks like. Whoops. There we go. Console log error. They're both undefined. I know, because we haven't done anything yet. Okay. The error is error. Okay. So that's interesting. Error is error. Why? Because what I just read, this is an error object, right? So what I actually want to do is error, let's go back to this. Error dot something, error dot message. Let's see if that does it. So this is the error. I want to see error dot message. It would be really, really helpful. It would be really, really helpful if this gave me a little more information than just error. Wouldn't that be helpful? Let's see what happens if I do error dot message. And now it's just error, nothing. It's also not helpful. Well, what I could do, I didn't really want that error message anyway. So what I could do is write my own error message and say if error is error, or if just error is true, I suppose, and then just have my own error message that appears. I kind of would like to figure out how this works, though. I might have to find an example, though. I mean, here we go. An example. Ask and you shall receive, right? So a new error. Am I assigning it to anything? E is new error. It says it should be in the catch block is where it should go. So it should be e.message and then throw E. So throw new error, could not parse input. So that's nice. I can put that in here. Invalid name. Let's just put that in there. See what that says. Oh, but I didn't say error.message. Error, invalid name. See, now it has something. Isn't that nice? Invalid name. So what if I do error.message now? I am learning all about this error object. Isn't that great? I've never learned about this before. Error, invalid name. There we go. I can put what... Actually, you know what? This is ringing a bell. I think I have done this before. There you go. Just practice makes perfect. Yeah, I just haven't done it enough for it to be second nature. But I'm understanding it more this time than ever. Probably because I'm doing it live and can't just go through the motions. So this is great. How long have I been going? 32 minutes. Okay. I'm going to go like 40 minutes. That seems like a good amount of time. I'm going to go watch a movie tonight. So, and I don't want to get too tired. Okay, so I can put whatever I want in here, and that's going to be the error message. That is great to know. I can put anything. So that's what I'll do. And that is what I am going to do with this little guy here. This will be an error message. That's the placeholder. And that's under the search bar. So I want to pass the error down to this component here. Search bar error. Pass it down. Search bar. Error. Okay, now this form text is where it is. Okay, so I'm going to say error. Now I haven't done anything to reset the error yet. So I need to do that. Otherwise, if there's an error that gets set, it's just going to stay there. And then this is always going to be true. So I need to go back and do that as well. So if there's actually if there's no error, I'll say no error. Then I'm going to do no, if there is an error. Sorry, yeah, because this is an error message. If there's an error, this is what I want to do. And put this guy else. I want to do null. Okay. And text muted, I want to say, okay, so now I have to remember how to style things. See, if this was React Native, I would want to do something like this. Color equals red. But I don't think that's going to work here. So I have to just remember how to, before I do colors, let's just make sure it works, okay? And I'm going to put the error in here. There we go. What's wrong with you? Did I do something wrong? No, it's just catching up. Okay. So now it's gone. That's good because there's no error. but now there should be an error. There we go. Yay! So that's another thing I did. But now it's not going to disappear. I want it to disappear if I start typing something. I just want it to go away forever. Okay, so I mean, the function where this happens is handle change. So I can do that here, except I also need set error to be passed down if I'm going to use it. So that's what I'll do as well. I'm just passing all sorts of state around here. Set error. Set error. But it's such a small app that it's no big deal. Okay, so now I can set error to, nope, that's not what I want. Hey, silly autofill thing. Set error to null. Actually, I'll set that as the initial as well. I just have it empty for now, but it's nice to have something there. Whoops. Cool. So let's see if that, whoa, nope, something's wrong. Set error is not defined in search bar. Oh, I didn't put it here, of course. Set error. There we go. So many steps. There. Now let's try it. Boop. Invalid name. Then I type. And it disappears. Yay. Just one little thing at a time. See, this is the kind of stuff that's really fun to do because you get to see, I mean, and this is one reason why I love front-end development, is you get to see the results of what you're doing in your code. Like, oh, that's not working right. And I fix one little thing, like, oh, look, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Isn't that wonderful? Yay. Great. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to do is error handling. Loading. The loading state should be pretty straightforward as well, hopefully. I thought the error thing would be straightforward too, so we'll see. Nothing is as straightforward as you think it's going to be in programming. Okay, so now there's time that passes while the API call is being completed. I'm going to get rid of this. Don't need it. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted. Don't check your phone messages while you're live streaming, please. At least it didn't come up on my computer. I think I silenced all notifications. That was very smart of me. Let's see. So, oh yeah, loading. I might have to stop because I'm recognizing the signs that my brain is starting to say no more. I'm about to shut down. Time to relax and watch a movie. Plus, I haven't been wearing my computer glasses, so my eyes are going to start going wonky too. Computer glasses are very helpful. Yeah. So, all right, fine. I will leave the loading for later. I even said 40 minutes, and 40 minutes is like 7 seconds away. So thank you guys for coming. We figured out the error we ended it with last night. And this is really strange that I'm not ending tonight on an error. I don't know what that means. That's kind of crazy. But I plan on doing another one tomorrow night. And so hope to see you guys there.